Welcome back everybody to the wonderful battle of the Central Europe season number 3, Group B, day number 2 for it as well. Another 2-game series, Moscow 5 International versus HellRaisers is here. Moscow 5, they took game number 1 pretty convincingly. I mean, they didn't have a huge XP and gold lead, but they're just momentum and everything. It worked out for them, just like 25-minute GG, close enough to it, I guess. But HellRaisers, can they come back for this? Can they tie up the series and have a slightly better chance to get a better position for the playoffs? We will see indeed. We're of course HeflaTV, your English coverage for this tournament. I am Coucher and once again I am joined by OD Pixelman. What crazy things are we gonna see in this game?
I don't know, but hopefully something different from the first game, and it looks like we are going to get that. I mean, HellRaisers, they hold themselves back with the IO ban. They're like, right, that's no longer the biggest issue. We just don't want to play against the Slark. They get him out of the way first, and then, for old time's sake, they go back and they ban out the IO anyway. Moscow 5, they ban out the Death Prophet early on, as they did before, and they also ban out the Brewmaster actually first this time. And HellRaisers actually going in with a little bit of a quirky first pick. Witch Doctor, obviously very strong. Great in the lane, great sustainability for the pushes, and can deal a lot of high damage mid-game to late game. That's very, very relevant, obviously it being physical with the Death Ward. But picking him up first, perhaps a little bit of a ballsy pick, but perhaps that's what they need to take down Moscow 5.
Maybe, just maybe, although Witch Doctor first pick, they definitely have to have some form of plan with it. I think if you're Moscow 5 at the moment, your head thinks Faceless Void, or at least mine would. So, can they go for kind of a block pick? Take the Faceless Void, some kind of combination with it themselves? Or do they just go for like Tide Hunter, Razor, or anything along those lines?
I think, well, yeah, Tide Hunter, anything like that to obviously stop the Witch Doctor from getting a good channel off would be a good call. And I mean, as you said, yeah, picking up the Witch Doctor before the Void, and that's a really, really nice combo. It kind of depends if Moscow 5 want to play with that themselves, because they could obviously go ahead and pick it up as part of this 2 pick that they're going to get now at this stage of the draft, and that could screw up HellRaisers a little bit. But obviously the thing you got to be careful with picking up a Void is, even if you're playing it against the Witch Doctor, it can still kind of help him if you get a bad Chronosphere. You know, if you don't catch him and you do catch some of your teammates, your team's not going to be happy because they're going to get pummeled on by the Death Ward. So you need to be careful. Well, Moscow 5, they go with what they know. They pick up the Tusk and Jakiro again, which we did see them play very, very effectively in the first game.
I mean, I guess, why fix something that ain't broken for you? Although, I'm not too sure if it's gonna work that well this time around, because Anti-Mage, he's just not that great of a tri-laner, to be honest. So, that definitely worked out in Moscow 5's favor as well in the last game. And HellRaisers now, having a Witch Doctor plus a Nature's Prophet, I mean, whatever tri-lane they're gonna go for now, Nature's Prophet is going to be able to just be that number 4 guy for the tri-lane as well, just TP in with the teleportation and screw over the tri-lane in the sense that you're gonna be 4 versus 3 all of a sudden. So Moscow 5, they're going to need to rethink it a little bit. Maybe just go for a defensive tri-lane after all, just play it safe. But it depends on what HellRaisers are going to go for next.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I kind of like the Nature's Prophet pick in a certain sense, in the sense that obviously in the last game we saw Moscow 5 very effectively towards the mid-game. They're pretty much stuck as a 5 and pushed each lane together. And the way you can kind of counter that really early game aggression and team fight capabilities is you go for the split push, and obviously Nature's Prophet is the king of that. And he's going to be looking to try and encourage Moscow 5 to break themselves up, to separate around the map, and that could give the side of HellRaisers more chance to pick these greedy heroes, maybe even like the Anti-Mage again, and allow them a little bit more space to safely farm if the side of Moscow 5 are kind of pulled apart and spread across the map, and Nature's Prophet should be looking to do that. But at the same time, I mean, you're picking Nature's Prophet against a Tusk and a Jakiro, 2 heroes that are very good at stopping the rat and catching you as you try and escape.
Well, they most certainly are, so we'll see if they will actually catch somebody as well or not, but for now, Moscow 5, they do have the Tusk Jakiro they started with. Vengeful Spirit did get banned now, so that's out of the question for the third or second support, I guess. Is there a hero that could just substitute Vengeful Spirit for a tri-lane? I mean, I guess like any kind of ranged hero would do, but...
Yeah, it's... I don't know, I'm trying to think what kind of the options are now. I mean, they have got a few. I mean, Venge is very strong, but there are a lot of other strong supports. And, well, I'd argue they're going ahead and pick up one of the very strong supports that we don't see too frequently in competitive games. But when we do, he's always very impactful. Dazzle, you know, he's a great all-rounder. Again, he does a lot of physical damage. He's going to make these heroes such as the Witch Doctor and the Nature's Prophet very, very squishy as the weave ticks down on them. And at the same time, you know, he's got that heal, he's got that sustainability for the early pushes, which is almost certainly what we're going to see Moscow 5 go for again with the Jakira and Tusk pick straight off the bat. And arguably Dazzle, he fits very nicely into that. And I mean, personally, I feel he does offer a little bit more than the Venge. I kind of like him more as a pick in this situation that Moscow 5 are going to find themselves in.
Well, I guess if the Venge is banned, you're going to have to go for something along those lines. I'm kind of hoping for like a Tusk, Dazzle, Meepo aggressive tri-lane now. I've seen it once. I'm not too sure if it was Screen Squad themselves or not, but it worked out wonders. Once the Meepo hits level 3, you're going to have the second Meepo, which means one extra unit into the snowball. Just snowball into somebody, then the Earthbind to follow. And not only that, the Dazzle, the more units there are, the more damage the Shadow Wave will do. So you just snowball up, get next to the hero with all of yourselves.
Oh, that's
units,
true, actually.
And bam, Shadow Wave bomb.
That is, yeah, I forgot. That is going to be a really nice combo in this lane. And, well, if that's if the combo wasn't as strong as it was in the last game, I think, yeah, with that pointed out, that's going to add a lot of burst damage, and it's going to make it very hard for these heroes on HellRaisers to deal with. I mean, what do they pick against this? They know exactly what Moscow 5 is going to do. They're just going to do exactly what they did in the first game. And that should really give HellRaisers the room to kind of adapt their draft and their mindset and try and work out how to deal with this. But I've got to be honest, the way that it worked out in the first game, it just really kind of felt that HellRaisers just didn't know at all how to kind of play against the strat that Moscow 5 were pulling out. And I mean, I'd be surprised if they're able to do anything miraculously different this game, unless they go for very different, very versatile picks that are going to kind of throw Moscow 5 off their own board. You know, Moscow 5 pulling out something with the Tusk that we don't see all the time. Maybe HellRaisers, they need to try something a bit new, bit quirky, bit different. They're going to pick themselves up a HellRaisers, an Earthshaker, and that works nicely. He's going to be great at stopping the push, isn't he, momentarily?
And definitely not too bad, especially if Moscow 5, if they want to go for some aggression, just one Fissure from a long range might stop it completely. Even if you do get the Snowball off and get the stun to connect on the target, Snowball stun isn't all that long of a duration. Plus, a nicely placed Fissure will completely separate your team from the target you're going for. So we'll see as Moscow 5 going for an Ember Spirit as the fourth one now. I mean, Ember Spirit, he's a sick late game core, of course, with just a Sleight of Fist, getting the Daedalus crits and whatnot, but he is also extremely strong in the early game. Once he gets that fast level 6, with the Remnants, he can just have so much mobility, chase people down, and the Flame Guard, it does a crazy amount of damage, and HellRaisers so far, they really don't have anything to kind of whittle down the Flame Guard at all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Flame Guard's going to be an issue. Certainly, you know, Earthshaker's huge amount of burst damages nullified slightly, but the lockdown, that's going to be nice for Earthshaker against the Ember Spirit. But at the same time, the Ember Spirit pick, really nice yet again. You know, with a slight fish steering change, you're able to stop Witch Doctor from getting his ult off for the full potential. Obviously, with the old Remnants, you're able to pop one down, TP back to a lane, kill off the Nature's Prophet, and then just zip back to the fight. You know, you've got a lot of global mobility and global presence that isn't going to be nice to deal with if you're trying to go for the split push, which it looks like HellRaisers is going to try and go for, try and break up these team fights, especially with a solo pick-off hero such as the Storm Spirit. Now, obviously, Storm Spirit is going to do all right in this mid lane that we can expect to see him up against the Ember Spirit. I'd argue he is the stronger spirit in that laning situation. And towards the mid game, you know, Storm Spirit is going to be able to effectively find these ganks and initiations onto Tusk, Jakira, and Dazzle, who arguably don't have the best means of locking down and controlling the Storm Spirit. But obviously, as you go to the late game, and Ember Spirit's fighting up against Nature's Prophet with all his treants, he's got the cleave, got the Battle Fury, got the crits. He's going to eat Storm Spirit for breakfast. So again, HellRaisers, they kind of need to go on the aggressive and shut down the early pushes from Moscow 5, because I kind of feel if Moscow 5 find the momentum this game, it's going to be hard for HellRaisers to bring it back.
Oh man, I absolutely love this puck pick now as well for Moscow 5, just because it's another form of trying to deal with the Storm Spirit, and not only that, any kind of heroes that have the just jump in potential are going to be excellent against Nature's Prophet as well. Nature's Prophet is not going to see a puck coming with a Blink Dagger just over the trees or something. So it's nice that Moscow 5 went for that. Before this puck, they would have had to rely heavily on just Jakiro, Yule Scepter into Ice Path to kill off the Storm Spirit. Now they have this little bit extra as well to deal with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else that's just going to be another issue for HellRaisers as the game goes on. I mean, once they go for their final pick, they've only got a few seconds left. They're going to have to make the decision quickly. And they're going to play with a core Gyrocopter. It's going to be nice. If he gets the early BKB, that's going to be nice. But at the same time, I mean, just with the Ember Spirit and just with the armor reduction coming from the Dazzle, I feel like they're going to be able to shut down this Gyro before he becomes too much of an issue, really.
Man, I don't really get the Gyrocopter pick either that much. I mean, it's not like it's a bad hero or anything, still can output quite a lot of damage. They don't have, like, massive setup for the cooldown, though. Maybe they will focus on just solo kills. I guess if you killed off the Puck or Ember Spirit in a team fight, you should be golden already, at least if you started at do it at the start of the fight. But we'll see. I mean, Moscow 5's lineup, though, they are rather soft, rather squishy on all of their heroes, so they're going to have to be a little bit careful. Dazzle is going to have to pump out a lot of healing, just stay in the back lines. Although usually that's not PGG's style, he wants to just be in the front, in the thick of things. But he's going to have to play a little bit more safely this game.
He's not going to be able to be as kind of over the top aggressive as he was in the first game on that bench. But hey ho, what have we got over on the side of HL? Well, it's going to be Goretz, wasn't it? Goretz on the offlane natures. Mid lane, you've got Afo Ninja up there on the old Storm Spirit. Down on the bottom lane, what have we got today? Well, we've got Artez. He's going to be playing on the Gyrocopter. And he's going to be babysat by Dread on the Earthshaker. And this Witch Doctor played by Goddamn.
And for Moscow 5 International, Big Nam will be playing the offlane Puck this game around, leaving Necroman on the mid lane Ember Spirit, with PGG on the Dazzle, ZXC on the Chikiro, and Screen will be the Tusk. And they did switch up who is playing the Chikiro this game.
Okay. I would have said, well, the Chikiro play in the first game was really effective, and I don't know why they decided to put the, it was, ZXC, he was playing the Slark solar lane, wasn't he? So they swapped around a little bit. And yes, Big Nam, maybe he's just the better Puck player. I guess popping him down there on that Puck on the off lane. And I mean, Puck on this lane, he should be okay. Obviously, he's got to be a little bit wary of the Earthshaker Fisher. I mean, if we see Gyro get an early point into the homing missile, he's going to be locked down for a little bit. But at the same time, arguably one of the easiest spells in the world to phase shift out of. Unless you're, of course, already stunned up by the Fisher, and that allows the time for their missile to connect. But Puck should be relatively safe in this lane, I reckon. He should be able to find a fair few levels. Nature's Prophet, though, up against the Chikiro and the Dazzle and the Tusk, I'd argue he's going to have, a lot harder time on his own here.
He most likely will. It's just going to be horrible. Oh, Screen already comes for Goretz, and Goretz backs off just in time, though. Started with boots as well, so makes it a little bit easier. And whoa, Screen, man! You don't have a Stout Shield, you're not all that tanky. Took a lot of damage just from the Creep Wave and Goretz himself. He does have Tangos, but a slightly weird move from Tusk there.
It was a bit. He was just, he lost a fair bit of power. He has got the Dazzle, of course. PGG's going to cover his sorry ass for him for the time being, but he needs to be a little bit careful about walking in and doing that. I mean, I guess that is one thing about the Tusk pick as well for this lane support. He can't offer too much harassment. And when he does, obviously, with the snowball, you're suddenly using a lot of commitment. It's not something that you can just really spam out because he's going to find himself face-to-face with an angry offlaner if he goes in on his own every time. It needs to be coordinated. And obviously, last time, we saw M5 do that very effectively. It's obviously changed around a little bit this time. As we obviously noted, they are in the safe lane. They're not playing aggressively. And, I mean, arguably, I don't know, unless, Goretz finds himself hugely out of position. I feel this... Oh, hang on. Hang on, he's just been brought up to the top. He's going to be fine. He's going to team. Oh, no, he's not. There's a snowball. What am I on about? And well, there we go.
Those ice shards, what?
Ice shards working as intended, apparently.
If that was calculated, I'm going to have to say Screenman, best Tusk player in the world. That was just sick. I'm pretty sure they didn't plan it, or I guess if they didn't plan it, it's kind of a waste of mana for the small harass. Maybe they wanted to just have some right-click damage on him from the high ground while he's trapped in the ice shards. I don't know, but it was just brilliant.
I think there would have been a surprise to us that suddenly Nature's Prophet was up on the high ground. It was... I don't know, but I think maybe they were just trying to get him away from seeing the last hits from the jungle camp, but it worked out heavily in their favour as they managed to pick themselves up a kill. Now smoke up on the Dazzle along with the Tusk. They're going to set their eyes on this mid lane, and Storm Spirit actually heading for the top rune. It's not going to be there, and that's actually going to mean that he is going to turn around straight away. So he should be fine. Top lane, a big dive coming from Chikiro. ZXC going very aggressive onto the Nature's Prophet. But yeah, this mid lane Storm, he's got to be careful. because PGG is coming in. There's going to be a snowball. I don't know. Well, they should be able to catch him out there. There's going to be the ice shards that's going to block him up, and they might look to this to commit. They don't actually have enough mana for snowballing. Screen getting very, very low. He's going to get healed up. At the same time, Ninja pulls in the Ember Spirit. Nature's Prophet has TP'd in. It's actually going to be the Storm Spirit falling first, but at the same time, with the Nature's Prophet and the Earthshaker, they probably will be able to get PGG here. He uses Shallow Grave, but, well, Dread's there with the Fisher if needs be. It isn't needed in the end, and Goretzky picks that one up, and a nice TP in, a nice rotation from the Nature's Prophet, finding quite a bit from that, and punishing the extension there from Moscow 5.
I think Moscow 5, they made just an essential mistake there, which was no Flame Guard on the Ember Spirit while they went for it. As they smoked up and reached about the rune position, Ember Spirit still had like 17 or 18 seconds left on the Flame Guard on the cooldown. They needed it from the get-go, as we just saw. Without it, they had to dive a little bit too far, and just ended up giving away 2 kills. So HellRaisers definitely off to a way better start, and not only that, the puck getting just shut down almost completely. He's only level 2. I mean, Goretz, his offlane wasn't all that great, gave away first blood, but he's already level 4.5. He can jungle as well, whereas picking him on a puck, he can't do anything but just try to leech XP from the lanes.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's one of the issues with picking off laners such as the puck is. He's got nowhere else to go. If it goes bad here, he's screwed. He really is. He's going to be level deficient, and that's really what you don't want on a puck, because puck, he needs to find these early fights, because he's not too much of an issue as the game goes on later and later, especially against heroes such as
Dread!
mid lane!
Oh, he was in there, but they had the sentry down, and oh wow. Oh man.
Fair play. It was that pop down the sentry. That was that the Tusk? I think it was the Tusk. He popped that down. He realised, didn't he? He was like, hang on. Someone's taken that rune, and it's an invis. They did have this ward, so I think they did see him obviously grab it. And, well, he knew that he'd have his eyes set on the mid lane. And they're going actually very aggressive on Goretz. There's PGG and Screen here. And, well, also with Jakiro pressuring the lane down. And, well, this looks like potentially this could be the tower down. The damage is coming through, and, well, this poor old Nature's Prophet on his own isn't going to be able to do too much against this push. Fortification is going to come out. Well, there's still got a fair amount of the creep wave. Yeah, they should be able to get this one. It looks like this is going to be a tier 1 going down on the side of HR's map. Who's going to pick up the last tick gold? Who's going to get it today? Oh, it's going to be the Tusk. Picks it up for himself, and that's going to put him nicely on the way to mana boots.
Moscow 5, the Shakiro being this highly leveled is somewhat of a surprise to me. I mean, 5 minutes in, he was already level 6, and the supports level 3 on Tusk, as well as Dazzle being level 3.5. Usually, they're a little bit lower when it's an actual tri-lane, but they've been doing it pretty nicely. Some rotations, some kills as well there. So excellent stuff, and they need to keep on the tower pressure, because with their lineup, I highly doubt they want to take this to the late game. Yeah,
absolutely. They've got to be careful. I mean, you've got to remember both sides. They do have fairly good late game cores in the form of the Ember Spirit and the Gyro, so they do have certain things to fall back on. But I think how the game begins is really going to set the pace for the team. And PGG is going to get chased down now by the Gyrocopter. He does have a Shallow Grave, at the same time Storm coming in, trying to find the Dazzle. Actually overshoots the Zip a little bit, but he's able to find it with the remainder of his mana pool as he picks off the kill there and takes down the Dazzle. Top lane, the push, it's continuing from ZXC, just forcing down these lanes, and tier 2 already at half health. Storm, he's going to come in, and he's got the bottle charges, he's got enough mana to do this, pulls ZXC in. It's going to be the Fisher coming out for Dread, locking down the Jakiro just that little bit more, who does try and get out a little bit of fire, but it's not going to be enough as Witch Doctor comes in as well, and they're able to punish the push there, pick up themselves off a kill. Top lane, Gyro needs to be careful. What is he doing? He's got no support here. What? Artez, come on, mate. That was a little bit silly. He's going to go down to the try. The 3 heroes on the side of M5.
So at least they get one in return as well, losing the Jakiro. And Storm Spirit, I mean, he had a Regen Rune. That's why he was able to TP bottom like that, or top rather, and get the Jakiro pulled in quite easily.
Okay.
Still had the Regen kick in, and man, Regen Rune is just the best rune for a Storm Spirit to have, hands down, I think.
Oh yeah, it's if you can avoid getting hit. I mean, that's a lengthy amount of time that you pretty much just got infinite mana to play with. And, well, as you see there, it can get you those kills, and arguably a little bit easier than such a double damage or a hate scan, if you're very good with the positioning.
Goretz might be in some trouble. Necroman, is he gonna go for it? He has the Searing Chains, of course, he's waiting for it. And now, suddenly, he gets it on 2, but Goretz goes for a straight TP out. PGG, nor anybody else will get close enough, and Necroman now. There's the Fisher, he's blocked in completely. Rocket Barrage, it's only level 1. Flame Guard will expire eventually, he's still alive with the Shadow Wave as well. Ice Shards, not really locking anybody in, and Ice Searing Chains once again, but this might be it, or Snowball onto Goretz. They're just focusing their targets, or not focusing rather. And PGG, he's gonna get caught, sprouted up, no tangos to eat his way through. Shallow Grave just delays it out by 5 seconds as Necroman gets a double damage rune. He's gonna have to bottle up as F1 gets the electric vortex, doesn't have enough for the static remnant, never mind, yes he does with the magic wand. One more right click, oh no, are you kidding me? He stays alive.
Oh my goodness. He's gonna get chased down. He doesn't have mana. Oh, Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet there, just picking up the kill casually. And, I mean, Ember Spirit was just very unfortunate there. He was constantly just under the 150 mana he'd need to Remnant out. So unfortunate for them, but HL, yeah, coming out on top. 6-4 it is. And, yeah, picking up the Ember Spirit, something that's they're going to be pretty darn happy with. And this Storm Spirit, he's been making the plays and really pushing his mana pool to its limits to find these kills, but it's been paying off.
Moscow 5, I mean, the kills they've gone for is either like Dazzle solo, or just people without Dazzle being around. Dazzle really hasn't provided the proper support so far. They've had to spread up so many times that Dazzle hasn't come into effect, and by now he's level 4.5. I mean, it wasn't all that bad, but as the minutes progress and they don't find any kills, they're not farming efficiently, they're not stacking up anything, the supports will be under-leveled eventually. I mean, Tusk, he's level 5.5, so he's gonna have the Walrus Punch at least. But HellRaisers, they're just being a little bit more efficient, plus just taking better fights.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not working out as well as it did in the first game for M5. And yeah, HellRaisers maybe just got a little bit wise to the playstyle of M5 and up their game for this one, mid lane. Ember Spirit and Dazzle trying to go a little bit aggressive on the Storm, but there's Dread on the sidelines, ready with the Fissure. It looks like, well, PGG and Necroman, they're just going to hang back for the time being. Top lane Puck trying to find the farm for his Blink Dagger. He's very, very close. He's reaching 2k gold at the moment, only a couple of hundred more to go, and he'll have that available. And a pretty big pickup, as always, for the Puck. And not the quickest of timings, but still, you know, a timing that's going to make it very beneficial for these engagements that M5 have been finding themselves in with HL. There's going to be a smoke up by 4 of the members of M5 as they look towards the rune spot. They find themselves Witch Doctor, but he's actually got an Invis rune, and smoke is, well, effectively going to be wasted from that. Unfortunate there for M5.
Always carry detection. Of course, the support, since they haven't gotten too much done, they don't have the gold to just go for random sentries. HellRaisers, so far at least, they don't have Shadow Lanes, no Invis Hero, so it's not that necessary to go for sentries or dust this early. I mean, definitely not for just like, oh, maybe an Invis rune will spawn, but if you have the gold to spare, definitely just carry some around, just in case. I mean, like for this, when the smoke breaks, just pop the dust immediately, because somebody has to be around.
It's true, it's true. But, well, both teams, they're rearing themselves up for this fight in the mid lane. Dread, I feel like it would benefit him just to pop off, find a couple of more creeps and get himself up to the level 6, because that's going to be pretty impactful, especially when you're doing it against a Puck blinking in, if you're able to find that instant cast time and catching him out before he's able to throw anything out in the midst of the team fight. And, well, it's I mean, looking at the last hits, it's Jakiro that is actually coming out on top. He's been finding a lot of space, and net worth, it is Gyro who's leading at the moment on 4.7k. And he is, as expected, going straight for this BKB. Has the Ogre Club and the Mithril Hammer now. Just needs to be working on that recipe. And I think with the BKB up on Gyro, there's not a lot really that M5 can throw at him to stop him from getting around these fights, apart from the Ember Spirit. But Ember Spirit really doesn't have any huge items online, so it isn't going to be too much of an issue. I really feel the BKB could be a really big item for the side of HR to get on their Gyro and can allow them to take these team fights even more confidently.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge for them. I mean, like I mentioned, there's not too much Moscow 5 can do against the Ember Spirit. You said he doesn't have any big items. He doesn't have any items finished completely.
True,
but
yeah.
Evil Scepter, Ice Path, Macropyre as well onto the Storm Spirit. They need a little bit more Big Numb Blink. Silence, only level 1 Waning Rift. It's not enough actually. Dream Coil, not broken because of the Ball Lightning. Oh man, Big Numb, max out Waning Rift when you're playing against Storm Spirits.
Oh man, there we go. Yeah, that silence just not long enough at all. And it looked like a surefire kill for the side of M5. Witch Doctor may not be as lucky. Yes, he is, because he got Tusk behind it. Oh, hang on. No, of course he hasn't. Tusk isn't on his side. He comes in, secures the kill for M5. Dread and Gyro trying to fight up, though. Ember Spirit very low is going to just TP out. There's going to be the Rocket Barrage coming down onto screen, but meanwhile, Nature's Prophet has already found the kill onto the Ember Spirit at the sidelines. Storm Spirit back in the fight now, trying to chase down ZXC. He's going to find him in the tree line. PGG is there, has got a Shallow Grave available. ZXC is going to TP out, but there's going to be a pull. A little bit of a ballsy TP attempt after he used up the Storm Spirit. And he is going to pay for that one as he does fall. And At the end of the day, HR are able to maintain their lead. 8-6 on the board now.
Well, as long as the Storm Spirit gets kills, well, he doesn't have a Bloodstone quite yet, although it looks like he's gonna build for one. Do you support the Bloodstone build, or do you think Orchid would be better this game?
I really like the Orchid pickup against these mobility heroes like the Ember Spirit and the Puck. Well, half an inch, as you said. Going for Bloodstone first. I mean, you can't argue with the fact that he has been very effective with the old zips and getting around, and he's just not been able to find himself involved in too many. I suppose he's had 4 assists, so he's going to be able to get the Bloodstone charges. He has only gone down once, so it's unlikely that he's going to lose them quickly. So I don't know, and he's going to get it relatively quickly as well. But I don't know. I feel Orchid is always really nice to have against. Quite a fair few of the heroes on M5, but it looks like HR they think otherwise, and I don't think Bloodstone's necessarily going to be bad, but there's only so much you can do with it, and it can be one of those items that can become redundant if you find yourself on the back of a few bad team fights.
Maybe he's just really afraid of the snowball sucking in the target who gets Orchid, but another Usurper, Ice Path, Macro Fire to follow. Is it going to be enough this time around? Bignum comes in, the silence, waiting for it. Pops it just at the end and gets the kill with Dread. Goes for the Echo Slam. Death Ward as well. Bignum. He's low, but not low enough. Shut away from PGG. Keeps him alive. Koretz, can he get the Sprout? Nope, he waited for it. Ice Path will miss as well, but Ninja. Oh, nice blink from Puck. Now Searing Chains of the Ninja. He's gonna ball Lightning forward. He wanted Bignum so bad, but couldn't get it. There's the Walrus Punch. Tusk gets the kill onto Dread. Koretz on the run. Another Ice Path. Doesn't hit anything. Setexi. Not just the best targeting with those in Ninja. He gets 1 kill. Gonna get Necroman, maybe. Yes, he will. And Setexi will shortly follow as well. One more right click. Liquid Fire. Oh, the Ice Path. He's under the tower and not enough mana to zip anymore. So in the end, it's, I think, a 3-for-2 still.
It looks like it is. Still keeping the same difference between the
Storm
scores.
bought back for this, though.
Oh, did he? Oh, jeez. Okay. Worth it, though. Found himself a triple kill off the back of the team fight. I think that was totally worth the kill. He does die a second time, but
well, thank God there wasn't the Bloodstone.
yes, indeed. He hasn't got it quite yet, so no charges are going to be lost today. But no, really well played by the Storm. It's just unfortunate he went down, but it really kind of made the team fight even, whereas it could have been just a really bad one for HR. And he's going to be back relatively soon.
Well, it would have been better if he had not chased the Puck all that far. He waited an extensive amount of mana, really. He went from the tier 1 to like here almost, and then all the way back with the ball lightning. Without that, he should have been able to clean up the 3 heroes and escape most likely. All he needed to do was to just disjoint like 1 tower right click and would have been enough. But oh, another champ comes in onto PGG. Electric Vortex is level 3. Gonna be plenty. Dread picks up the kill, but another Ice Path will follow. Macropyre as well. Necroman. Searing Chains. They need the silence from Bignum, and here comes the Puck. So, not worth it in the end. Storm Spirit for a Dazzle, but they're gonna get Dread as well. Screen came in with the Walrus Punch. So, suddenly 2 kills for Moscow 5, and they're fighting back.
They are indeed. And yeah, another nice couple of pickoffs and bringing down the Storm Spirit yet again. And now they're going to find the Witch Doctor in the jungle. Not a lot that he can do against this. Gyro's going to be there. It's going to be a nice cooldown coming through. And Gyro does have the BKB, of course. And they're getting very low. Nice initiation from Nature's Prophet, picking up the 2 heroes there. It looks like Ember Spirit will be able to TP out, and Poke will be able to illusory orb himself away. But again, we're seeing another even team fight. I mean, it was looking good for M5, but then they go and throw away a couple of heroes.
Oh man, 14 to 12. Looking at the graphs, 3k network lead for HellRaisers, about 4k in XP as well. And looks like they want to go for the tier 1. I highly doubt Moscow 5 is going to be able to defend her. They are positioning themselves. Bignum, he's so low on mana, he can't possibly jump in anymore. So gonna have to go all the way back. But in the last fight, they got the Witch Doctor, but Witch Doctor was able to throw out the Paralyzing Cask before, and I think it got all the bounces. They didn't spread out soon enough. So they had to stick around for a couple of seconds longer just because they were stunned, and that set up most of HellRaisers' just counter-attack there.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They're just a little bit too close to each other. We'll manage to find the deny on the middle tower, but at the same time, Jakiro picks off the Nature's Prophet who tries to go toe-and-toe with him. And ends up being kind of bad. No TPing away from a Jakiro with the Yule Scepter, of course. And Nature's Prophet unnecessarily throwing his life away in that one. I mean, we've seen the Nature's Prophet make some big plays, but perhaps TPing into a Jakiro wasn't one of the best ones this game.
I do have to say that, although if you look at the kill score, it's rather even. Still, HellRaisers they're not like a horrible amount ahead in both net worth as also XP. But just the fact that Ember Spirit, he has 3.9k net worth, whereas Gyrocopter is sitting at 7.7. So he's getting almost doubled up. And Ember Spirit, before he gets that first Battle Fury, he isn't scary at all. Although he's gonna go in, Searing Chains, Initiation, well, that's the only good part about Necroman at the moment. But there's the cooldown to follow, Paralyzing Cask as well. It's beautiful, Echo Slam was used. Can they get caught them though? Voodoo Restoration keeps him alive, Necroman. Shallow Grave, he's gonna be able to escape, maybe. Storm Spirit, is he gonna sip after him? No, he's not. They're gonna get ZXC instead. Gonna chase down Screen as well, so a 4-4-1. Oh my god, well, Ember Spirit escapes, but man, HellRaisers, they have just solid command of this game.
Yeah, it's... I mean, as we were saying, M5 got a really nice early push picks, you know, obviously just with the Jakiro, the Dazzle, and the early aggression with the Tusk and the Puck, you know, a lot of initiation, a lot of burst damage. And then we were kind of like, well, they picked an Ember Spirit, so they'll be fine in the late game. But as you were pointing out, the issue is this Ember Spirit is not getting farm. I'm not sure what he's doing, but it's really not working out for Necroman. And especially in comparison, as you said, to this Gyrocopter, who's just got a ridiculously large amount of farm in comparison. It's, I mean, what's Gyro got sent out to him at the moment? What's he finished off now? He's finished off the Helm of the Dominator. So he's got that going his way, and he's also brought himself, he's finished off the Ring of Aquila as well, so a bit of starts top lane. Goretz, perhaps he's gone a little bit too deep again. He's going to trap up ZXC, but ZXC's going to pop the Yules. There's going to be our Ice Path laid down, and 3 heroes laying to the Nature's Prophet to bring him down. At the same time, in the river, they do manage to find a return kill on the Ember Spirit at the side of HR. And, I mean, again, Nature's Prophet, it's not really an issue if he dies at this stage, because he's going to be back in half a minute. He'll be in another lane doing his job. But Ember Spirit, when you're 5k behind in terms of net worth in comparison to the other team's carry, it's kind of an issue when you're off the map, because you really need to be catching up in terms of farm.
And cooldown just used to farm out the creeps. He's going to connect on ZXC as well. But completely agree with you. You need to be able to catch up. And Nature Prophet, although his death gave more gold to Moscow 5 and XP than the death of the Ember Spirit,
yeah,
it still doesn't matter like that much, because the Nature Prophet's farm isn't going to be hindered by that much just because he has the Hand of Midas. And suddenly there's a BKB on the Storm Spirit as well. Doesn't have to be afraid of anything. Didn't even go for the Bloodstone, just playing it safe. And so far, I mean, he hasn't needed it that bad, although the deaths have been just because of the silences and the Yule Scepter Ice Path setup.
Yeah, I think yeah, BKB is actually a really smart pick from him. I mean, as you said, it's not been too much of an issue, but the silences have sometimes, on the odd occasion, caught him out. And mana-wise, he's not really been too kind of cut short for it. He's really finding the ability to catch up and zip around the side of M5 quite confidently. And we've very rarely seen him in a situation where he can't get back out.
Oh no, the Aegis Snatch! Beautiful jump, and the Static Remnant does so much damage to the 4 heroes. Snowball comes out, but where do they snowball to? It's into Gotham. Dream Coil was used already. There's the Echo Slam! Oh my god, the downside of the snowball. Holy freaking crap. ZXC is gonna lose his life. Oh my, that freaking fight. And Aegis, he didn't even lose its Storm Spirit, just perfectly healthy. Oh my, wow.
That snatch, and then that snowball, as you said. I mean, that's got to be the real version of, no, don't do it, don't do it. The snowball just comes in towards the Earthshaker, who's just sitting there like, hello, boys. And just a Fisher on 4. Sorry, not Fisher, Jesus Christ. Echo Slam on 4. Easiest Echo Slam of that dude's life. And well, that wasn't great for M5. I guess on the plus side, they did kill the Roshan. But that's the only positive I can think out of the back of that one.
Oh my god, that was just so... Storm Spirit, he zipped him from a pretty long way away as well, which means that the Ball Lightning itself does a pretty nice AoE damage to the place you land. Plus Static Remnant maxed out is 260 damage, but it landed on at least 3 heroes. Oh god, that was just one of the most beautiful Aegis snatches I've seen. I was so positive that Moscow 5, they're gonna be able to get it and get the Aegis for themselves, just because HellRaisers, they scouted out the Roshan attempt quite late with the Treants. But man, just... I was so wrong, man. Perfect timing.
It was literally perfect timing. He smoothly just went in and snatched it. It wasn't like he hesitated, zipped around when he was in the pool. The pit is the word I'm looking for that begins with P. Yeah, it was beautiful. Work of art. And it was almost as if the Tusk was just like, this is such a beautiful play. Let's make it even smoother and sacrifice the entire team. But I don't think M5 are going to be too happy with the Tusk play there. But I guess it's one of those things that at the time it's like, yes, Snowball, go! And then in retrospect, it's like, this was the worst initiation of my life.
Oh, the stream just caught up to that
Just
Roshan
caught
moment. Oh, it's a thing of
man.
beauty, man, indeed. And that suddenly Nature's Prophet has a BKB as well. They can feel so safe with the free BKBs, and Artist so far on the Gyrocopter, it's still up to 10 seconds as well, although he was the first one on his team to finish it. They're gonna go for a push now. They should be feeling so confident. I mean, look at the Ember Spirit. We're 23 minutes in. He has boots of speed, not even face boots, drums, and a claymore. That's it.
I don't understand. I mean, what is he doing? He's got to be somewhere on the map. He's obviously somewhere where there's nothing to hit. I mean, he's just finding nothing. And I mean, this is just a huge issue for M5. Especially just with the ridiculous amount of farm this Gyro's got. And they tried to smoke up M5, but it's straight into the team of HR. And that's really not what you want to be doing. Especially when Artis has got an Eagle Song and he's dishing out so much right-click damage. The armor buff of Weave is not going to help you at all. And, well, suddenly 4 of your heroes are dead. Nature's Prophet, he's going in for the kill on Big Num. He's going to trap him up, but he's got orb. Well, he hasn't, in fact. He's not got orb for a couple of seconds. And he's able to go out for a little bit. He loses orbs out, but Afro Ninja's there and finishes off the puck. There's a team wipe again for the side of HR against M5, and a celebratory BKB pop there by Nature's Prophet, and a Death Ward as well is going to be thrown into the party. As HR, I think they realise that they're in a pretty good position, but at the same time, M5 they are going to be back. Maybe then we have to find a fight now that Nature's Prophet's got his BKB on cooldown and goddamn hasn't got the ultimate available. But Rax is going to go down nonetheless.
Just look at the graphs as well. It started all with like one good fight, and there has been 3 of those fights in the past 8 minutes or something. Oh wow! So
Wow!
HellRaisers, man. I think game number 1 lasted, I think, like a maximum of 30 minutes. I think it was. This game, I highly doubt it's gonna go too much longer.
Yeah, unless something huge happens, and it's it's not gonna happen. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all.
So, HellRaisers, I guess they want to get the last outer tier 2 just so they would have all the racks possibly available if they win another fight, that they would go for the supersized mega creeps. So they're gonna go for the objectives at the moment. Yes, they used some BKB, some ultimates, completely unnecessarily just to show off kind of. But now they're gonna be playing it, maybe not completely safe, but standard again.
Yeah, I mean, Artes, Butterfly finished up. And
Pleasure, man, you're such a freaking sellout, man, on chat all the time.
I am. Just go and follow my Twitter, Hitbox viewers. That's all we want. That's all we need. This game is, well, there's not a huge amount more to say about this game, really, is there? I mean, we're going to see a team fight. If M5 come out on top, I'll go and eat a shoe, but it's not going to happen. As, well, there goes their initiation. Tusk ice shards the trees, and Puck cuts the illusory orb a little bit too short. And, well, Artes, he's ready to go. BKB is off cooldown. He's got a butterfly, so they're not even going to be able to tickle him. They're going to pop a weave defensive on M5, but that's not going to save you from Afro Ninja. Zipping in with the BKB. There's going to be a cooldown. It's on to no one. They are going to back up all the way to the fountain. But HR, they're going to be happy with those guys sticking there, because they're going to hammer down now on the top lane of Rax. Jakiro is there. He's looking for some kind of initiation. Can he find it on Goretz? He is going to be able to use him up. But Artes and Dread, they're going to be there with the backup. Death Ward's going to come in. It's pounding away at the puck. He's unable to bring down Dread. It's going to be an Echo Slam. Suddenly 1 hero's dead, 2 heroes dead, buyback on the puck, 3 heroes dead, 4 heroes dead. And Tusk, well, he doesn't know what to do. Frozen and Ice Shards. That's going to be it for the time being. Puck's brought back, but he's going to go in. Nice little Waning Rift, but he's going to orb straight back out because there's nothing he can do against these 4 who finish off the top racks. And I mean, well, M5, they're down an Ember Spirit, they're down a Jakiro. HR, they're down a Nature's Prophet, but they don't care at all. And Big Num realizes this. Good game, well played is called. And HR, they pull it. They pull it back and they take the second game.
Man, really well played by HellRaisers, and it's so weird when it happens. Like, first game, one team is extremely dominant, and then the other game, the other team. It just goes to show that anything can happen in a game of Dota. Just so much depends on the drafts, the side you're on, the Dire or Radiant and whatnot. But wow, HellRaisers, just excellent performance. So they're going to tie up the series. Going to have some form of revenge against Moscow 5 at least for this particular series. But this is not it for the day. We're going to have 2 more series coming up. I do believe the next one is Moscow 5 International versus CCK, should be.
That's right, yeah, that's the coming up later, isn't it? Yeah.
It's gonna start straight after VP Polar finishes against CCK themselves. So guys, just a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, who knows how long it's gonna last. We're gonna keep a couple of songs going and whatnot. But if you like the cast, if you like the streaming, be sure to follow us, HeflaTV, on Twitter as well as Facebook. They are both HeflaTV there. So be sure to check it out to know when we're going live, with what games, on what channels. And of course, for the casters, it's at Coucher for me, at ODPixel for my sellout co-caster.
Hey! Get on the Twitter. Go! I'm trying to sell out.
No, it's not a sellout. I mean, it's legit. So definitely follow him at ODPixel on Twitter.
Follow Coucher. I'm following Coucher and I'm cool. If you follow Coucher as well, you can be cool as well, chap. So
of course,
go and
man.
follow him.
And you definitely want to be cool. But guys, this is it for this series. HellRaisers versus Moscow 5 1-1 in a 2-game series. See you for Moscow 5 versus CCK whenever it's gonna start. So see you for now.